cannot keep up this same scenario as far as,
are we going to be the slaves or are we going to be the true owners of this land? Because really can't be both. To think that there were just palm-colored people here in America all this time and there were like absolutely no dark-skinned people, no black people, no brown people, no copper-colored people is simply just not true. So there's evidence of it, and evidence of there being advanced civilizations of black people in America prior to slavery ending in 1865. However, those types of towns were destroyed and to be forgotten about. Also, I'm not negating that the Europeans enslaved those who could be enslaved when they arrived here. I'm not negating that. I'm also not negating all the atrocious things that happened to those black people. However, I'm saying that while there was this group of black people, there were also that group of black people who were not enslaved. And so we cannot play the same narrative. We can't be the slaves and we can't be the owners of the land. That's what I'm trying to say. So if we want reparations, then that would be something that you would give to a former slave or the family members of former slaves. But if you are the true owner of the land, you're native to the land, then you don't get any reparations. You get your land back. You get your identity back and your language and your land.
if we want to go back to the timeline of who built things such as the White House, and just all the structures that we see around us, like timing wise, they want to put the timing period right at the end of slavery, as if to say, oh, okay, slavery ended 1865, the next year all this stuff was founded. Ain't no damn way. So if we're going to go back to the 1800s, the beginning of the 1800s, all black people were slaves. All black people was the ones building stuff, not white people. So that means that black people built the stuff, right? All these buildings that say pre-1800, they all is made by black people. Well, no, black people didn't build it because that stuff was here before that. It takes a lot of courage to like speak up and say stuff like that because there's no other explanation. I mean, we are here in this reality, you know. I mean, we are walking, talking bones, but deep down we're not that. We're more than that. It's spiritual beings, you know, having a human experience.
Also, there is a missing race here in America and possibly worldwide that people refuse to acknowledge, but it's the missing link to everything, to the blacks, to the Native Americans, and to everybody else that's here in America. The missing race is the giants.
Complete destruction until it was complete destruction, if it makes sense. Okay, so, you know, they capture people, they enslave people, they beat people, they are people. They did the worst things that they could to people, but still there were thriving black towns and cities in America prior to there being freedom of slavery, which happened in 1865.
The black towns were there before slavery ended.
We can't claim both narratives. Either this was our land and we was really doing this shit, or we was just all in chains. No, they didn't have us all in chains. They got who they could in chains. They got the farmers and stuff, but also it was people who was, you know, in the cities, in the remnants of what the giants had created. Because let's be real, humans didn't create half this stuff. And that's the conversation people don't want to have, but we're having it, and it is what it is. Who don't like it, you don't like it. Who could build all this stuff? It's some highly intelligent, huge beings. Who built all this stuff? You think people got their ass up there on their buckets and horses, on their carriages to build all this stuff? The Europeans, after they so-called freed the black people that was here? Hell no. We come from a very distinct and very in-depth history that's very intelligent, by the way, probably much more intelligent than here today. And we're just getting, like I said, the remnants. It's obvious, and before it wasn't so obvious. It's like, is this stuff new? No, none of this stuff is new. It's just that We're just seeing it now. All these buildings, all these churches everywhere with all this sacred geometry on it. Like, you see it. Look, if you in any major city, you can look outside your window and see it. And the structures, they've had to been built by people that were large in size. I mean, because that's the only other alternative. Very large in size, very intelligent, very highly spiritual beings. And I ain't calling them humans, because everything in a human, you can't say a butterfly is a human. No, a butterfly is not a human. A butterfly is a butterfly. But before it was a caterpillar. Giant people, now we got mini people, now we got tiny people. Anything goes. Maybe not having giants in the present day, but in the past, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe in the past. Don't wake them up. That's all I'm saying.